All right, we'll call the meeting to order, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 voting members, so we have a quorum. And first up is approval of the minutes, March 25, 2024. We officially welcome Gil back, and it's on the agenda, but maybe have to wait till afterwards, right?
Yeah.
That would be under other business.
Other business.
Only if you brought cake.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna welcome him back. Draft minutes.
I move the board, accept the minutes of March 25th as written.
Second. Any discussion? All, we don't have to do, nobody's up there, right? We don't have to do roll call. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, old business, none, land use, none, development review, none.
Do we have a quorum with 4?
Yes, we have a forum with 3.
3, all right, I just didn't know. And is Wendy missing today?
I don't know.
When I saw her on Friday, she said she'd be here.
We can certainly
Did you
appoint
send out
her
a
as a
reminder?
voting member today. We can certainly appoint you as voting today.
Give an odd number.
Yeah, sure. So be it. C, approve proposed ordinance changes, review final warrant articles. Those we have in front of us. Jack?
Yes.
Did we figure out how to make it so that it's, what's mandated is,
We have not, so we thought we'd discuss that tonight, right? But there is the
yeah,
description of
yeah.
the articles,
yeah,
and maybe that can be tweaked a little bit to just say the parts that are mandated and the parts that are non-mandated.
I saw something in here about not mandated in there, where-
Yeah, like in Article 2, last sentence or 2 sentences discuss non-mandated.
Yeah.
changes.
yeah,
I have a question. What goes in? Only the warrant language goes in the town report? Is that right?
The article itself, yeah,
But not the whole.
not the whole
Not the whole
process of,
shebang.
no.
So this will be a handout.
Right, well, I was thinking we probably should have a copy of this up the front.
We do,
Oh, you do with the whole shebang?
Yep.
Oh,
And I posted it on the website also.
oh, you did?
Yeah.
So we can have it like this, underlined as non-mandated.
no, underlined on this is anything that is, let's see, additions are underlined and deletions are struck out.
We could highlight, I mean, I could go through easily enough with a highlighter and highlight for the town, the ones that are non-mandated.
And that would copy.
with the color
Oh, I
copy,
see, for the.
with the color copier, you pick up the-
Makes sense. It'll be faster than doing, well, maybe using red ink. Well, you were thinking maybe bolding it?
Well, I was thinking that when we print for the town meeting, it won't be in color.
All right. How about just
So-
M in parentheses for mandated and NM for not mandated? Parentheses. Could that do the trick or?
yeah.
Maybe.
Too much?
I would
Just a
still,
little thing at the top, a key.
Yeah,
are you thinking in the article itself, like underneath the,
Well, if the articles, if anything in the articles is a mandated thing, then the thing is, if the town has to understand about if it's mandated from the state, we either choose to do it or we're not in compliance.
Right.
And if we're not in compliance, that could mean trouble for the town later on. Is that right?
Yes,
So
basically.
I
what
think that
they-
would make a difference on somebody voting, says, I don't like that idea, but this is mandated. I'm sorry you don't like it, but here you go.
Yeah, if the town didn't vote to accept it, basically sometime down the road, can't guarantee that would happen, but.
No, you
if
can't.
An application comes before the planning board,
Yeah,
okay, the permit gets denied for whatever reason,
because we didn't follow that.
and then they come back with lawyers and say.
Right.
Well, we could italicize the non-mandated. It's not too big. Well, except for all the definitions.
I will do whichever way you think is best.
What does everybody think? I mean, if we're doing
Either way, it's extra work. Whether it's just a M for mandated or a not mandated, NM, or italicized for one or the other, either way, it's extra work and it has to get,
So it's just in the ADU section.
well, and the water quality is all non-mandated.
Yeah,
okay,
I think we can just say that
Just.
it's not a part of the LD.
but affordable housing and accessory dwelling unit are part of the LD 2003, correct?
Right,
And at least parts of it.
right, and major, you're right, the major changes are in the ADU,
Yeah,
The affordable housing and minimum lot sizes is all mandated.
mhm.
And ADUs, it's the,
I would think most people would look at this handout. Does everybody see the handout? That's just a one page that
Is
describes.
that this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I thought it would just be easiest to
Yeah.
put it in here.
yeah,
And then,
yeah,
and then we could italicize what's the non-mandated sections.
yeah, I don't think you have to go through this whole thing and do it all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Yeah,
I see, yeah, okay, yeah, I think over this thing.
Yeah, keep it simple.
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people are just.
If that just means a blurb on this Article 1, for example, or Article 2, if it just means a blurb saying, umpty ump is state mandated change,
Mhm.
at least as a voter, I go over there and I look, oh, this is state mandated.
Yeah.
This is,
When we get to town meeting, I would imagine someone's going to be speaking to this before the vote.
Well, the moderator will bring up the
Yeah,
articles,
oh, that's right, and then I
Right.
don't know if we have to go through them all.
yes,
Oh.
yeah, each article will have to be voted.
yeah,
How do
And
we
there'll
have
be
to go-
opportunity for discussion.
So do we have to go through anything and discuss them?
Yeah, after every article.
Read-
Well, if basically, when the moderator brings it up, if anybody has any questions,
Yeah,
then there will be a time to ask and answer. If any representatives from the planning board want to be
okay, so
up
we
there
don't
at
have
that
to
time
give,
to
yeah,
answer questions,
yeah, the public hearing is where we'll go through each one
right,
in detail.
at actual town meeting, the moderator is just gonna present the article.
right.
If there's any discussion on it, there will be, and then these all, I think, should be just a show of hand vote, not a written. So,
It might be, I don't know.
pretty sure there will be, I don't think.
Depends on-
It requires a secret ballot.
Right,
So the moderator would have this.
yeah. And at town meeting, we'd be there in case somebody had questions. And wasn't or didn't get their questions answered the way they wanted to get them answered at the public hearings, correct? Otherwise, we're just sitting there and voting
Yeah.
like everybody else.
Yeah. At that point, more than likely, the select board will be on stage.
And the microphone will be floating around.
Yeah. That's how it usually works out. You're supposed to wait for the microphone.
If they start getting a lot of questions being raised, then someone from the planning board might wanna go up on stage and field questions there rather than.
We'll see, but first is public hearing.
Yeah, get that out of the way first.
Yeah, I think there are a couple edits in here that, I need to clarify, like Article 5. We should say it's the development review ordinance. And we've just, it's part of the whole mandated section.
It's updates to the development of the ordinance.
Right, I just didn't know if I should say, or it should say right in the front. That's why I was putting this section, so people can really wanted to go to the details.
I think it's understandable the way it's
Oh,
written.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind, never mind. So, and we had voted on the first 5 articles
Hmm.
last time. So, the actual article language carried as, well, actually, the attorney written all the first 5, correct? It's the last 2 articles, 6 and 7, that we have not gotten the attorney to bless.
So-
I have gotten him to bless them.
Oh, you did their wording?
Yes.
Whoa. Oh.
So did he write language for the warrant?
I based Article 7 on the way we had Article 6 written, which he had advised you on.
Before.
So I wrote Article 7 in the same way and I sent it to him and he said it was perfect.
Oh, cool.
Either way, after the public hearings, all this has to go back to the attorney anyway, because he actually has to be the one writing it. We can't just write them up ourselves, and
Oh, and then he sends
then
it
he,
to
then he,
whoever?
yeah, then they end up in the town report after he writes the articles.
Yeah, the one-
Let the
I
lawyers
hope
do
he
that.
saved it.
Yeah, the one thing, well, do we want to just finish with the first 5 articles? Everybody has any questions and then go on to 6 and 7?
So, all right, based on the first 5 articles, for Article 1 and 2, someplace in there, we're gonna specify that something is mandated.
Right, and I don't think Article 1 housing had any non-mandated.
And it says on here what's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it says non-mandated on Article 2, that
Yeah,
is not mandated,
Yeah.
but, which makes me think that other stuff is mandated.
Article 5 is mandated. Article 2 is mandated, but there are non-mandated changes in it.
Correct.
Article 5 and Article 1 are mandated with no changes,
oh, so,
with no unmandated, non-mandated changes.
And Article 4, that is not a mandated one at all, correct?
No, and Article 3 is not mandated.
so how do you want to handle that? I mean, some of the definitions are part of, it's a mix. And some of them are mandated, they were moved from
On which
an
one?
ADU, from affordable housing, I think language is putting a definition.
Oh, definition.
Yeah,
Would they be considered mandated though? I mean,
I don't think a definition would be would it?
No,
we have,
okay. Well, it's just if they get rid of the Article 1 or whatever it's referring to.
we still have affordable housing on the island.
Yes.
Right. I don't remember what changed. Oh, yeah, 51%, yeah. I wouldn't worry. All right, let's not worry about it. All right, never mind. So what are we saying, and how do you wanna put it then, at the end of the sentence, or just start Article 1, non-mandated, mandated affordable housing? Article 2, mandated. And then non-mandated, and then sections with non-mandated.
I think
Oh,
the
it's at
biggest
the
thing is
top.
what's mandated and what's not. I mean, if it's not, don't worry about it. If it is, then they need to know that it's mandated.
It says it at the top.
It does.
Yeah, and Article 2 spells it right out.
Mhm.
It says, the last paragraph, or the last few couple sentences of Article 2, non-mandated changes
Okay.
include that a new homeowner is.
Yeah, I see where it says it at the top about that. Is that included on everything though? The changes proposed were minimum mandated by the law, new law LD 2003. If Islesboro does not approve the changes, the Islesboro ordinance will not be consistent with the law and may be challenged as invalid.
You know, what we could do is also list up there the articles that are referred to, it's not mandated, 1, 2, 3, 5. Or we could just list the ones that are
But
non,
right, you have the non-mandated changes include water quality, definition, updates, and town districts. Everything else is mandated.
mhm.
I
Okay.
think this is
If-
fine.
Yeah, that is. If that's included in the warrants, then that should be, if I'd have read the first paragraph instead of skipping down to read the articles.
Yeah, this is probably everything you're looking for right here.
Yeah.
I think I would just move things around a little and move Article 5 up to have all the mandated stuff in together.
It'd just be out of order.
Yeah, it would be, unless you change the articles, right? Unless you change the article numbers.
I think it's too late, yeah, it's too late.
No. I think
It's not too late, it would be a lot of work.
it would.
Okay, never
They
mind.
must not do that. You got it, you folks have done plenty of work on these. And I'm not trying to throw a monkey wrench into any of it. I just,
Right, people.
I think if I'd have read that first paragraph, I wouldn't even have brought it up, so.
Well, in Article 4, we could just say these are non-mandated changes.
Could you say like, bold Article 1, Article 2? Just
Oh,
give
it's
themselves
mandated.
just bold Article 1, Article 2, the ones that are mandated, and then just have,
Bold, non-mandated within Article 2,
But it says it in the first paragraph.
right?
I think it's covered.
mhm.
I
But
think
it's
you're
a
right.
question of people reading.
Reading, yeah, that's. I
Well,
think
you
it's
can,
a-
as you can say, you can lead a horse to water.
Well, I know somebody would be guilty of it because.
It can't hurt to have that kind of duplication, bolding.
Just bolding the ones that are mandated and then making a note, mandated articles noted as bold or something like that.
Well, and italicize the word non-mandated in Article 2. Sounds good. So we're gonna bold Article 1. Bold, and we're gonna italicize non-mandated changes in Article 2. Italicize.
And bold Article 5.
And bold. The whole thing, no, or just the Article 5, just to Article 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're just gonna do the,
Bold up the word Article 5.
right, and I thought that's what you meant when you were gonna do
I
the
had no
one.
idea what I was meaning, so sounds really.
You've had,
All
you've
right.
had your fill of this gobbledygook, haven't you?
Yes, I have. For the last 2 weeks of vacation, I said, I don't wanna think about it. Yeah. So I think you got it?
Yeah.
Can you bold them,
Oh, yeah, sure.
or do you want me to bold them?
Either way.
I don't know if you edited it, anything.
I did not edit this.
Oh, so
document at
you
all.
renumbered. Remember, I missed one of the lots.
That's right.
Ooh. It's 4, no, it isn't. I think I fixed mine. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter as long as, why did you do it? Because I think you have the most current
Okay,
edition.
all right, I'll use your notes after this.
Excuse me.
I'll use your marked up notes.
So do we need to vote on those changes or just leave it at that?
If we vote on them, it'd be to accept as amended, correct?
Well, it's just this sheet of paper.
Yeah, you're not changing any of the articles or anything.
No, you're not, you're just making a bold and.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't think you need to vote.
I have no idea what to do. So you want to talk about Article 6 and 7?
Okay. This is, Article 6 is adding, possible affordable housing lot 9A, is that what that is?
Right, and this is where one question I had was, I really like the description Carrie did on the article. I guess it's your description of what was going on in it.
Yeah, I think that was Tom's description.
Yeah, that, well, it's just the second line you talk about, and to follow property lines as shown for the remainder of the district. Or I know, planning board has adjusted district boundaries around lots 17B and lot 24, and I didn't know if they should be in the article. Or do we find that that's just a clerical?
Changing it to property lines?
Yeah, property lines. River has to be.
No, because he said that we don't actually have to,
It was in his letter, it said wasn't necessary.
That's what I seem to recall.
because it's not an ordinance change, it's
Right.
just a redrawing of the boundaries, and
Yeah.
that doesn't have to.
All right, and it's written here, and so, well, we know possibly the boardmans will come back and say they don't want it, but
But that's okay.
we'll just take it off, yeah.
Did certified mailings go out for the new town center? Do you guys know?
I haven't heard anything,
Nothing's come across my desk yet.
and Janet wasn't even sure that the letters needed to be certified.
For the town centers,
So the housing committee was handling that
Right.
job.
And down in Article 7, the last sentence says the select board housing committee, is that right, or the housing committee?
it's their select board,
Oh,
nominated them. It was just to clarify where the housing committee came from.
okay.
Sounds more important if you put select board in front of it.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
So those two we did not vote on last time.
okay. So Article 6, we're adding lot 9A, that's the
Right.
article, right?
Yeah, and that was,
Per request of all horrible properties.
yeah,
Where we don't have to change, get permission, do the property lines. How does that get voted on? I mean, why does that have to get voted on to add them in?
I don't really know.
19A.
Sure.
I don't know why we have to vote on, because they would like to be, they want to be added.
We want, we as a board or?
Why?
Why the town has to vote on it?
Oh, Bill,
I know, I'm sorry.
I don't know where the attorney's letter is.
I mean,
I have that.
Or redundant? I don't know. Did we have, I thought it seemed like somebody said it was.
Because you're adding to the town center, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
You're adding to the town
Yeah,
center.
yeah.
That's why they have to vote on it.
so what happens?
The town voted on all those town centers right there. So if you're adding to it, that's why they have to, vote on it.
But they told us we didn't have to change to, when we're changing to property line, we're taking the lines on to catch you up. The town centers, some areas don't follow property lines.
Right.
And to make things easier, the changes to make them all follow property lines.
Town centers.
Right, but it's a change in the town centers.
And theoretically, it is a zoning change,
Right.
because that, somebody that was in the rural zone is now gonna be,
So, not saying this is gonna happen,
Right.
but when Boardman Trust comes and says, I wanna be annexed out of, that has to go to another vote.
No, I
No.
don't think so.
no, they
But it's
can,
changing the program, it's changing the town centers.
Did you find it?
By that logic, it's changing the town center,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, you're right.
Well, it seems like we have to send it to the town, but according to this note of the attorneys, he says zoning is a legislative decision. And so town meeting is free to set whatever procedure it would like. Typically, any property owner is free to request a change in zoning for their particular property. This proposal would be submitted to the planning board, who would review it and conduct a public hearing. Following the public hearing, the planning board would vote to either recommend or not recommend the amendment to the select board for placement on the next warrant. So that's before the town meeting.
Mhm.
That recommendation is non-binding. Keep in mind, however, that unless a requested zoning change is submitted by petition, there's no obligation for the select board to place any such request on the warrant for consideration by town meeting. Well, I think IAP has done a petition,
Yes.
so.
Yes,
Say that again.
So they have petitioned to the select board that they.
The affordable housing wanted to be added in,
Yeah.
yes, they have.
Yep, so I would think would be, I don't think you.
I would say if any of the Boardman family at the town meeting stands up and says, I don't wanna be included in that, that would be the time right there to say, okay,
Yeah, this says we vote on it after the public hearing.
And the other thing was in terms of, it seems like we don't have to send out a certified mailing. It's just a public notice.
For the new town center?
Yeah, mail notice is individual property owners is only required if the amendments proposed to prohibit all industrial, commercial, or retail uses in an area where all such uses were previously permitted, or vice versa.
So if you could have a car factory up near Durkee's store, and all of a sudden, because it's a town center, you're not gonna be able to have it,
Yeah.
that you can't do that. If I got the gist of that.
not without sending out certified letters and that would take a little bit more of a public hearing than just a zoning
Yeah,
boundary
Yeah.
line change.
Well, it seems like it's saying that. I guess all we can do is somebody disagrees. I don't know.
So no one,
We have plenty of time to get some meeting if it says be done.
so property owners in the proposed Up Island Town Center do not need to be informed.
Other than seeing the notice for public hearing, yeah.
That I find find that very wrong.
I wish I could remember how it went with those.
The old one, that,
Yeah, do you remember getting a certified letter or? a
yes,
letter?
I got, I
everybody
got a
did.
certified letter.
Oh, really?
That's how I found out about it.
Oh, wow.
When they did establish the town centers.
I know we voted on them, I remember that much.
The planning board held 7 public hearings. And there were a lot of informational meetings.
Just my reading of Article 6
Yep,
here. Shall an ordinance entitled 2024 Amendment to the Town of Islesboro Code of Ordinances to adopt changes to the Protection District map as incorporated into the Town of Islesboro Code of Ordinances through Chapter 125, Section 125-9, to change the Protection District classification of the property identified as tax map 17 lot 9A for rural to town centers be enacted. That doesn't say anything else about changing any of the other boundary lines in that.
no, it doesn't.
So the only thing they're voting on really is what,
Yeah.
to allow IEP to have their,
Yeah. No,
Right.
and I think the rest of it, that for some odd reason, those 2 lots, they did bizarre, they did not follow property lines
Right.
and they should have. And I think it's just a clerical error. So,
yeah, the Dark Harbor Town Center makes sense why they didn't follow property lines.
Well, I think
Because
part of the
of-
reason they didn't
yes,
follow on.
because they're not, they can't vote. I mean, they can't. Yes.
Yeah.
We have learned the hard way.
Right.
You can't, ADUs, or what was it, the ADUs cannot be.
I don't know about the Boardman side of everything over there, but where it doesn't follow the property line over here, it's right behind us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was because of a wetland protection
Something like
or
that,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
That-
resource.
That according to our ordinances, if you're living in an area like that, the higher governing, whatever the
More
Just
strict.
more strict comes into play.
Mhm.
And what is it, resource protection
Yeah.
seems to be kind of nebulous. You go
Yeah,
out
it
and
can
look.
be
I
found
mean,
not
because,
correct.
well,
Yeah,
case in point right here, okay?
yeah,
This building isn't in the town center district right now.
It's not.
No,
no,
no. Because of this resource protection thing that was out back. However, as we're progressing with this municipal building, the new health center, we learned that that wasn't the wetland that we thought it was.
Right.
yeah.
It is right now, because it's only.
Well, yeah,
raining for the
everything,
last
this
2
whole island is
months.
wetland right at the moment.
Yeah, it's further back.
Right,
So it's not a concrete
Yeah,
boundary.
right.
and it says right in the ordinance, the only confusion is that shoreline zoning is a state law,
Yeah, yes.
and you
Yeah.
can't.
Right,
And
Right.
that's 250 feet.
Right.
right.
From mean high tide into the property, 250.
And that changes every year.
Yep,
Yeah.
changed a lot this year, folks.
It did. It did change a lot this year. Yep. It did.
So we don't have to vote on these till after the public hearing.
Right.
Oh, we don't have to vote on the.
On 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Right.
Oh. Good.
Get all the input from your public hearings and everything else, then the planning board can decide, okay, we're gonna
And we
We're
could
gonna run with this,
proceed,
yes.
yeah, and if the, one or the other people find real disagreement with, then,
That's why we have a board of appeals and.
yeah.
That hasn't been there enough to dust off their books.
Well, I would think we would just backtrack on the Up Island one, if there are disagreements with it, and just do informational meetings and say, this is what's being proposed. It's not going to limit what you can do to your property. But obviously it can change the complexion
Well,
area.
I can't speak for everybody up island where this, proposed town center is gonna be, but I know that
Well,
the current owner of Durkee Store has paid attention to it, and he thinks that that could be a good thing, cause it could make more, his property either more usable or more, desirable or
more saleable.
saleable.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Yeah.
But
I think
that's one.
I think last time around it was, that town center was,
Was okay,
was,
people were sort of okay with it, but the
Yeah.
one that was really opposed was the one that they were talking about by the transfer
Yeah.
station.
Right.
the only thing I have a problem with is that they expanded the boundaries and there are several new families in that area. And I just feel like people should know what's going on.
Well, I believe the housing committee did plan to send out letters. They may not be certified, but they are gonna
But
notify.
they were gonna notify.
Yeah.
And they do plan to have somebody representing the housing committee at the public hearing as well to answer questions.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And I'll ask Tom if they send out information letters.
And they are also getting Steve Blatt to produce a more official looking map for that area.
Yeah, that's one question, and the one you did for us, which was really nice, I love the colors. Can we boost that up to a 24 by 36?
This one here?
Yeah. You think that would be something that, we could send to Staples, or it would have to be modified to be,
Can't you just send this size map to Staples and say we want it bigger on?
I'll do that, I'll contact Staples and see if, and if I I can send them a PDF of it or JPEG of it. But, it's one of those things as it expands, it will lose its,
It loses, it does, it like expanding a photo, it gets grainy.
yeah.
We have big paper on our printers, right?
11 by 17 is as big as we can do.
But the size you're talking about going to, it's not gonna be terrible.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I took I saw how that worked with photographs and stuff. I took a photograph of a sunrise through a fog, you know, and then I had it blown up into a 24 by 17 or something like that. And it didn't get so grainy that it was,
Yeah.
And I can print 11 by 17 at my house and then I can splice one together.
Yeah,
I tried that.
yeah.
I'd rather go to Staples.
Maybe the other thing is we could have a handout and then possibly you could, at this, for Zoom participants, we could show them the map on
Mhm.
Zoom.
Yep.
For both,
Yep.
town centers, so maybe not until we plan on the, official town meeting,
Mhm.
where we probably have to have a bigger map.
So we'll need in 2 weeks, we'll need a bunch of printouts.
Yeah,
A
color
bunch?
printouts. Well, for anybody here,
Anyone that comes to the public hearing.
I see, but they won't have to be big size.
no,
Just hand out.
yeah, just like that size.
Yeah,
So we need,
I guess you could just explore what the problems will be with,
Enlarging it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, yeah.
yeah, 'cause I didn't want to go to great expense until we know that it's definitely going to the public hearing, I mean, to the town
Mhm.
meeting. Oh, good, so then- So what's next?
So did I hear, and am I understanding correctly, Articles 1 through 5, we've already voted on? Everything's squared away on that?
Proceed with that group, yeah.
The town centers, 6 and 7, we vote on after
After the public hearings, correct?
Mhm.
and we have to vote on the first 5 to send them to the select board after the public hearing.
Okay,
Right, or all, yeah, or all seven,
Or all
depending upon
seven.
the public hearing, yeah,
okay.
right, and then they send it on to whatever. Oh, well, where does a attorney go in?
Oh, after the select board,
After the select board decides,
after.
yes, we're gonna put this on the town meeting,
then it
Agenda.
goes,
then it goes to the attorney, he writes the articles,
and we're done.
and it goes in the book, yep.
And I owe you all a steak dinner for all the work you've done.
Several, well, tofu.
I don't go tofu.
Oh, well, oh, well.
Hunk of goat cheese.
Yeah,
There you
that I
go.
could do. That I could do.
I did want to ask, I apologize, I did not give you a copy of this email from Steve Miller. I should have. He was just reminding us, of concern about increased housing density and,
The aquifer.
yeah, the aquifer.
I understand.
And, septic systems.
Yeah.
And so at this point, we know that any septic system going in has to meet state criteria, which may or may not be sufficient, but we hope they are. And that, in dense housing situations, there will be broader, well, particularly in the town centers, the setback from wells is greater.
Yep.
And,
One of the things I found out about septic systems, we as homeowners and users of septic systems cause a lot of damage to them by the things we put down our sinks. And
right,
we cause damage.
mhm,
When we started milking, we have to wash these milk containers and everything. It takes antibacterial soap, it takes a high concentration of vinegar, and it takes a lot of bleach. And every one of those are poisonous to a septic system.
yeah. Yeah, good point.
Some of your shower, your laundry soap, stuff like that is poisonous to a septic system.
On grease and whatnot too,
Yep,
and paint and other.
paint, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the groundwater committee sent out any reminders, I'm sure they did in the past. Does anybody remember seeing how to treat your septic system kindly? Does that sound?
I haven't seen that, but
Seen it.
Suggest.
it would be a great thing to happen, because a lot of people that are buying houses have lived in the city where they don't have to worry about all that stuff, that,
Yeah, now all of a sudden they got something bubbling up in their backyard and they don't know why.
I mean, it has nothing to do with us as far as the planning board goes or what, but that's one of the problems that we're running into, is that we as users are causing the problems on the septic fields that,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm, yeah, just a new flyer to go out or whatever. I must admit that this high water level we're experiencing right now is affecting septic system. We just walked out our door and went, that's not the mud flat. Nope. Yeah, so we don't know what's going on.
well, the
but
ground's saturated.
Yeah.
It is, there's no way
The
to
ground is
go.
saturated.
Yeah,
There's no,
yep. Things are going where you don't want them to go, so. Yeah,
and that, the septic system is designed to flow off all that water, but if it's underwater,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to,
what's that?
it's kind of hard to disperse when it's.
If it's underwater,
Yeah, so he has some good points, and I think that the planning board has to remember this, and that, ultimately, increased density, we might have to think about expanding, tightening up our ordinance.
I understand, and I've said that before about wells, who draws the line? You know, where do we draw the line, and what's that gonna do to your property up island that you're gonna sell, because now you can't build on it, because you can't put a septic system on it because of, there's too many septic systems in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, that's out of my, that's not my pay grade.
Mhm.
That study that Steve,
Mhm.
the Robinson study, you have that?
I don't have it, I've seen it. I don't,
Must be in there somewhere.
I think,
Must be in the town office somewhere.
I seem to remember seeing it at one of the groundwater meetings one night.
Um,
Somebody had a copy of it.
that suggested at some point making all wells further,
Larger setback.
have larger setbacks.
I don't know,
Mm.
But, you know, the denser housing, it's gonna be hard to fit on
Yes.
8,000 square feet.
excuse me.
Well, the lucky site evaluator who goes out there and tries to find a site for these will have their work cut out for them. Mhm. All right,
Think you
so,
wanna get your license back?
no,
You know what?
no.
Asked her if it made her wanna get her license back.
Yeah, the licensed site evaluator.
Oh,
I didn't do many. It was way beyond my pay grade. Get sued. No, I didn't get sued. It was my luck to get sued.
right. Well,
All right.
these days it could happen for anything, so. So where do we go from here? Back to the agenda?
One thing was,
Thought that we
I
left the
don't
agenda.
know where the agenda went to.
She did.
But
She did, man.
it was just about filling that slot, our member slot. The
Oh.
process we wanna go through. Do we need to advertise it, or have we advertised it?
I put an ad in the, town,
Oh, the paper?
no. The book that we're gonna get, the year
The town
annual
report.
review, annual.
Oh, really? Oh,
Then
okay.
we've got an open spot, but what I heard tonight, we might have somebody already filling that spot, and then, so,
Somebody who might be
Put 'em in the
interested.
markets too.
yeah. I'm sorry?
Somebody who might be interested, but
Right,
it's,
somebody might be interested.
Oh, good. So we just have to find out, if that person is interested enough to submit.
They
They
just,
just say they wanna join, and
Yeah.
then
and then we put
we,
it to the select board.
well, first you vote on it and then you.
right,
Yeah.
Is that,
we can have a meet and greet, and
So if they came to a meeting first,
well,
check it
do
out.
we have somebody online who might be interested? Now you can find out the chaos, Cressica, that this whole group is. You're on mute, unless you want to stay on mute. Nicole.
Hi. Yeah, I thought I'd listen in today to just hear how your deliberations were going and see whether
How
or
you're
not I
staying,
could
yeah.
be of help.
Yeah, well,
we didn't scare you away, did we?
Not quite yet.
yeah. Well, and as an alternate, as Anne can attest, you're in that seat for a while, until one of us collapses and disappears, and so it's a learning process, and it's really giving us input, particularly as we're
Yeah.
floundering, as you can see,
Right.
sometimes we are clueless,
Yeah, every-
we're pretty hopeless.
And this is all you need to know.
No, you don't have to know it, you have to know where to find
Find
it.
That's the thin book.
But yeah, any insights, I mean, from your background, your background is maybe.
Yeah, my background is planning, but I'm also involved in architecture and engineering. So yeah, I kind of understand a bit about building construction as well as all of these, development review issues and other planning issues. So this has been a very interesting conversation for me.
Yeah, you'd be a real asset, I think, for helping us identify any issues when we have applications, if we ever get an application again.
Oh, we will.
Somebody's gonna build something eventually.
It's not summer yet.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so if you're interested,
Let us know.
yeah, think about it. And, I don't know, does she have to submit a letter?
No,
No,
No?
no.
No, yeah,
It's like they said, most people just come to a meeting and then we say, yeah, your nay, and then send it to the second one.
oh,
And usually they say yes, so,
it's pretty easy.
yeah, very easy. And you're in.
Yeah, we're a fun group.
If Mr. Oldham says about the choir, can you breathe?
yeah,
Yeah, it would be real, yeah. I think you would be really helpful for us,
Great.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would love to help. So I will definitely be following up with you to
okay.
make
Great.
sure it makes sense.
All right,
Alright.
great, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
very
much.
good, thank you so much.
What's the time commitment? What,
Oh, the time commitment.
yeah.
Meeting every 2 weeks generally,
Mhm.
and the meetings can go anywhere from a half hour to,
Depends on what you're doing, 'cause it
Right.
can go long.
it can go long.
But I've been to a 5-minute meeting before.
I'm sure, yeah, we've seen those.
On average, though, they usually last an hour.
Yeah, on average.
And then you can volunteer to go on site reviews and usually that's.
In
about
committees
it.
to sort stuff out,
That will be done with.
that will be done. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh,
I know you hope so too, but
sometimes we're asked to serve on other committees too.
Just as a representative to another committee.
Oh, right, right. Right, you're on the plan,
I'm on the airport committee. I think I've been on it for 2 years and there hasn't been a meeting. So that's a good one too.
yeah.
And you're on one for the planning board, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I'm on a lot of them for the planning board.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Harbor?
Harbor,
I
yeah,
gotta
the
say,
parking. And I don't know, maybe one more, I don't know. I come in every year and sign my name away.
yeah, well, I haven't, maybe I need to, but I haven't signed up on any other committees.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have a hard enough time with one. Not that it's a hard time, and it's getting me here.
Mhm. Well, we'll find out exactly the next meeting, the public hearing's April 22nd, just exactly what that's gonna be like. But at that, we don't say anything. We just listen.
We have a meeting following the public hearing. We will be having a planning board meeting.
Oh, right, but the public hearing, but we still have to give them a brief description.
Yeah,
of what we're doing.
there's a description of what's happening, and I would suggest, and you guys spent a lot of time working on it, but I would keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, we were gonna discuss that, how we're gonna kind of format it.
Yeah.
Isabel's gonna lead it.
Yeah,
No, the chairs.
The
are
boss.
lead it, and we can do the
you
explanation.
can do the explanations, that's good,
You stand behind him, he stands in front of you.
yeah.
So
I'll take all the hits.
I think we just go through them one at a time, read them out, or read the first part, refer everyone to their handout,
Yeah.
Y'all,
and then
Let's discuss this now.
are there,
Yep,
are you talking about the,
Yeah, the first page.
the articles,
yeah, okay.
the
You're not talking
Yeah.
about going down through this whole thing
The
saying.
7 articles.
No, that should be in a handout, people should be able to
Okay.
read
Yeah.
that on their own, I think.
Okay, yeah, they could have something like this in their hand, if they want to scan through it, they're welcome to scan through it and make notes and ask questions.
Yeah, we could give a brief outline of it and then are there any questions?
Right. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the KISS method, keep it simple.
Yeah, me too. Sound good?
Sounds good to me,
Mhm.
sounds good to me.
And definitely somebody from the housing committee is coming for Article 7. The Up Island Town Center.
There are no
Mhm.
guarantees, but they're planning on it.
Okay.
Tom will be away,
Tom will be away.
so I think Mike is planning to represent them.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Well, good, somebody will be there. All right. All right. And if there's anything else, so visual aids or a handout. and
So
then-
there'll be a bunch of copies of the articles and the maps.
Yep, I'll make a bunch. As soon as I get the better maps, I'll make a bunch of packets.
So I think your, Ann's map is adequate now. in
Yeah.
Color, yeah. Yeah, the other one needs to be.
So what's the town meeting here?
The
Public
hearing
hearing,
is
yeah.
Public
here,
hearing,
Public hearing,
Oh.
here.
yeah.
Can you,
Yeah.
Do-
When's the town meeting?
June 15th.
can we put all the handout material on the screen for people who are on Zoom?
Yes,
Hmm.
well, I can share anything, but it might get. Yeah, actually, we can just scroll through all the articles. So yes,
So people
yeah, so anybody on Zoom can see
will
it.
be able to see.
We'll have the same be able to see the same packet that's
Okay.
being handed out. here.
That's what I was trying to spit
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Moving on then. No new business from either land use or development review. Other business, CEO report we have from March. And that's.
Didn't do a lot, but apparently I did more than last March, so.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get,
I didn't
getting a
issue-
lot of,
I didn't issue any permits last March at all.
do you need to, they need to get a permit to rebuild their pier?
Yes. From me. Not,
Oh,
Okay.
because they've already been approved.
because it's already been approved and built. They can't expand it, make it bigger or anything else. They can go up if they choose. But if it's just rebuilding, it's already there, then they don't have to go through the whole DEP and planning board and all that again.
It's like changing the siding on your house,
Right.
basically.
You'll be getting a few of those.
I already have.
Here,
Rebuild.
yeah,
Piers and seawalls, that's been the past month, that's pretty much been my.
Seawalls have to go to the, DEP?
And I'll bring this up. I told Jennifer about this earlier. This may blow your mind because it did mine. You have to get, if you're gonna build a new dock or put a new seawall in or steps down to the beach or whatever, you have to go through the DEP first. They have to approve it before it even comes to the town.
Right,
If you wanna blow something up in the shoreland zone, the DEP has no regulation on that at all.
Oh.
I learned that this week.
The bottom part outside.
Yeah,
if you wanna blow something up on.
yeah, they have no regulation as far as blasting in the shoreland zone.
That's crazy.
Who's blowing stuff up?
There is, I issued a permit today
Yeah,
for down at Glass Beach.
okay, that's,
They had already started without a permit.
yeah,
Are they building a house?
Future foundation location is what the permit, what the application said. So apparently he's planning on putting a house down there at some point.
huh. Okay,
I put a stop work order in, I held them up for about a week until they got all the stuff together and.
good for you. People wishing to address the planning board. Do we have anybody there that wants to address the planning board? And correspondence, I don't think we have any committee reports. We already heard from the, airport committee. Gil hasn't been around to give us any other reports on any committees. So additional chair business, that goes to there. And I just want to welcome Gil back into the wonderful world of Maine. Back in his chair to help figure all this stuff out. And that's it, right?
Yeah. Adjourn.
Make a motion. Make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn then.
Any discussion? None being heard, all in favor say aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jessica.
So that's the person you had told me about.
Yes.